Well, hello there. We are live and back on air. Same channel, but a brand new time, as you guys are seeing. Welcome to the evening edition of The Big Show. First time Dwayne and I have ever been at this time. For those of you guys who are watching right now, really do appreciate it. As you guys probably know already, Dwayne and I were every Sunday at 9 o'clock Central, 10 Eastern. And for the first time, we're moving to a different time zone, a different kind of time of the day, I should say. Now we are at 6 p.m. here Central and 7 p.m. for my friends back out there on the east side of the U.S. Well, Dwayne, welcome. I really do appreciate you carving out a little bit of the evening for the Big Show podcast because we can't do it without you.
My pleasure being here. Yeah, and just for everybody, you gotta forgive Jimmy. He's from originally from Florida, and he moved from time zones. And I'm assuming public education being what it is, he had to do that mental conversion about where he's at and time zone. Don't let we try to give him too much crap over that one. But hey, that's what we do.
It's true. It's very, very true. Yeah, I mean, in my defense, I've basically grown up on the Eastern time zone my entire life. I've been in Florida for the last, 30-something years, since 1989, nearly my entire life. And just up until about maybe a couple months ago that I relocate to the great state of Texas. So now I've got to deal with all these central time zones. So it is getting to me a little bit, but I'm going to figure it out. I promise you. But we really do appreciate you guys tuning in. For those of you who have not already read it, take a look at Dwayne's shirt today. And it says, "I love pronouns. Let me she, them, titties."
You got to love it. With oh gosh, I forget his name. You got to say that with the guy from Highland, not the original 007. How was his name?
Sean Connery. Sean Connery.
Let me see them titties.
Let me see them titties.
Yeah, like that bit of fun with it. No, I saw this T-shirt. I think some comedian was wearing it, or I don't know how it happened. I'm like, I gotta get that T-shirt, and here it is. So
I tell you, you never disappoint when it comes to T-shirts. You never do. I always go a little dressed up, button down shirt. You always go, crazy T-shirt guy. So hey, it works. It works well.
Maybe we should do another like tonight's episode.
For those of you guys,
most unattractive things women can do. Maybe next week will be unattractive things men do, and one is show up in these kind of T-shirts. Maybe that's it. Do a little vote on who.
Yeah. After a few more episodes, we're going to have enough video footage to put together the top 10 best T-shirts that Dwayne Ward ever wore on the Big Show podcast. So we'll probably do that. But today's episode, is one that I think we all get a pretty good laugh at because we hear a lot of stuff from the female side talking about what men can do better. Men are always this, men are always that. I mean, for a lot of guys out there, sometimes you guys feel like you just can't do anything right because if it's not social media or TV or your own woman or whomever telling you that you can do better, it just like sometimes we just throw our hands up and just say, forget it. I'll just be single the rest of my life. But today, as Dwayne pointed out, we put together a list of the most unattractive things that women do according to men. And what I got my hands on was a pretty good poll online of hundreds and hundreds of men polled asking this question on what are some of the most unattractive traits that females have done either on dates, either in your own relationship, or even in marriage. And some of them is going to hit straight down the middle. And some of you guys, I don't know, some of you guys might not care about some of these things. But so, Dwayne, I've got to ask. I know that you're married now. Okay, I know you're married.
Yep.
But when you were dating, did you have some like deal breakers where like if she did A, B, and C, she was out, or conversations that she might bring up or whatever, and she was absolutely out? Was there anything like that?
Oh God, how long is the podcast going to be tonight? No, I had so many. Yeah. And I guess I don't know if I'm the unorthodox guy or whatever because I've said this to some other friends of mine, and they were like, "Are you nuts?" A lot of mine was like, and I'll just say after, my first marriage, just for those who don't know, I've been married a total of 3 times. Third time's a charm. And when I would go out and date, well, there's so many things, but one of them is that I guess in that age group, they all wanted to sleep with you like the first night. And I'm not trying to brag or whatever, but I'd go on a date and they couldn't offer anything besides bedroom fun. The eyes of Texas are funny.
That's a good one.
But that was one of my main one.
So hold on. Let me make sure that we all understood this. Let me make sure that we all understood this. One of the things that you just hated was the fact that women wanted to bed you way too soon. Is that what you told us?
Yes. I mean, obviously, poor judgment. Let's just go with the obvious here. But no,
were they seeing types of women? Like both eyes worked fine? And I
got on blind.com. I don't know if you've been on that one. And the dating thing was great there. No, I would go I would go. I mean, I did what everybody else does. I would do the websites and all that, trying to find my next perfect match. And I would talk to them for a bit, and they didn't. Well, see, it gets into other stuff because they didn't offer anything in the way of intelligence, communicating. I mean, building. I mean. You'd mention something, or you'd crack a joke, or you would, my personality, and they couldn't offer anything back. But then you're like, you know what? I'm free Friday night. Let's go on a, date and see where this goes. And you'd go on the date and you would sit down, and they just could not offer anything except for 30 seconds of bedtime fun. And I'm like that. I mean, and I don't know if it's because, I was in my early 40s. I had my own personal mental issues or what. I don't know if I'm different from other guys in that area, but that wasn't what I was about. It's not what I was wanting to do. I was trying to find someone that I could build an empire with, and someone that actually had some intelligence. Because again, after those 30 seconds are over, you've got the other 23 hours, 59 minutes and 30 seconds left to have time with and have a relationship with, and
actually conversations.
I mean, it's like one of those, don't let the t-shirt fool you. I want that in there as well. But at the same time, I wanted someone that I could have an intelligent conversation with, that, I would bring stuff up, either current or past, whatever. And we could talk intelligently.
Yeah.
Didn't get a lot of that. No clicking on that. That was just one of those that was an immediate turn off. Well, that, and they already were picking out when they were moving in. First date. I'm like, what?
Mandalorian has a good one for a t-shirt. Let me see those titties. Manda, where you been? We haven't seen you for weeks. Where have you been?
She's waiting for the new t-shirt.
So she's waiting for a new t-shirt to arrive. So I had a few I have a few red flags that I look out for, things like that. But Randall says it perfectly. One of the things I look for.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That was my kids mean everything to me. You gotta have their 3 6s, just attitude, bitching. I mean, I guess there's no other word to describe, really, just bitchiness. Just that they think that you're doing them a favor, showing up. That whole, I'm not going to do this. I'm a nowadays woman, but I ain't got a job, 20 kids, and you're gonna have to do all this for me just to get a portion of my time. I didn't really experience that, but I know a lot of guys that have. They'll sit there and go, give me your bank statement. You need to do this. I demand this. I want this because I'm a princess. Yeah, that doesn't work across the board. But
I tell you, social media has really delusionized a lot of women out there, where they have these high expectations of what they want in a partner, and a lot of them, no offense, but a lot of them are space cadets in their wants there. Because I'm not here to tell anyone what they should or should not want. I'm just here to say the type of person that you want. What is that person going to expect, and do you meet that? Because what a lot of modern type of women seem to forget is that men have standards as well, not just women. And men don't naturally accept all. We understand we have a ranking system. We know where we fall in the hierarchy of looks, and the hierarchy of fitness, and the hierarchy of income. We get it. Because the world is very, very honest with men. If you are overweight, the world will call you fat. If you're broke, the world has no problem calling you broke. If you are
Blind.com.
Yeah.
Blind.com. Very successful on there.
Where do you see that at?
I'm offering a PSA for the guy out there. Blind.com. You got a sexy voice? There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Todd's already subscribed to it. He's already swiping.
Lifetime member.
Yeah. He's got the platinum membership over at blind.com. But so the one of the things that I really have a big problem with, again, is the high crazy expectations that women have sometimes. Yeah. And it bothers me and a lot of men out there, because men know from a very young age what it is that women are looking for in their mating. And the reason why we know is because we date differently than women date. And here's what I mean by that. If men did not learn women, we would never have a woman. We have to learn how she moves, how she acts, what she wants, what makes her happy. We're the ones that pursue, right? Women just kind of sit back for the most part and just kind of look at the people coming, and she'll pick the winners at the finish line, kind of a thing. Right. So women don't really have to learn how men act and men move or what men want, because all they've got to do is turn on a dating profile and just push the start button and come back in 20 minutes, and they'll have 45 brand new guys hitting them up on matches on the dating profile. Right. The average man gets between 0 and 5 matches per month. Right. Per month. That's what the average, according to the statistics that I've read. Women get 5 times, 20 times that amount. You know, women get so many matches they can't even keep up with them or keep track of them. So that being said, that's what I mean whenever I say that women don't really have to learn men. And that's where the disconnect comes in today's modern world, is that, men are still traditional by nature. We understand what women want. Women are really attracted to a man's future. They want to know. That's why women are attracted to ambitious men. Even if you're not where you want to be, as long as you're on that journey and your mindset is focused on the future, she'll take a chance on you, So guys who are not really out there on their purpose within their frame, out there, with a plan, they're going to have a hard time on the open dating market, because women are very, very interested in a man's future. Right. But when it comes from the women to learning the men and what men really want, they're not really sure what men really want. They get advice and feedback from other women on social media, and also simp guys on social media. So no matter how large this woman is, the women of the world will still call her a 10. The women of the world will still tell you that she's big and bold and beautiful. And then you got some white knights or some simps that'll come out and say, yeah, I like you too. And but what I'm starting to see now more than ever is when you start looking through the comment sections. Okay, women, ladies, let me give you a little bit of advice. Whenever you see a posting that you wonder if, is what this woman portraying, is it attractive towards men? Is this woman really beautiful? Whatever. If a woman posts a picture on social media and you go through the comments and the only one that's commenting are other women, she's not an attractive woman. And because men, for the most part, will not go onto social media and say, nah, you're a 4 out of 10. They just won't say anything at all, because they'll be dragged on social media. They don't want the negative feedback. So all you see from men are the white knights and the simps who have no options at all. They're trying to attract some sort of attention from women. Yep. If you think I'm off by this, ladies, all you've got to do is look at some of the comments on the big social media pages, like not Facebook, because those are your friends. Right. Things like Twitter or IG. Look at the Instagram comments on one of those postings, and all the men are going, no, don't like it. And the women are bashing these men, telling them that their opinions are off or wrong, they're misogynistic or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So women are saying, yes, you're a queen. Men are saying, absolutely not. And so, honestly, ladies, if you think about it, whose thoughts really matter? Right. It's the men's thoughts that really matter. Here's why I say that, because if you are dating men, listen, if you're dating women, then the men's thoughts don't matter. The women's thoughts
Yeah.
matter. But if you're dating men, then men are the pursuers, and you don't want men pursuing you for the wrong things. You want men pursuing you for relationships, not for one night stands. So the guys who are simping around, click on their profile and tell me if that's the kind of guy you would probably date. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
All that matters is that men of value, the kind of men that you would want, are saying that you are what you're hoping that you are. Okay. Just like men, we always know that it doesn't matter what our guy friends say about us. If we want to attract a woman, I don't care what Dwayne has to say, or this guy has to say, that has to say. I'll listen to his advice because I know he has my best interest in mind. But at the end of the day, is it reciprocal towards women? And are women saying, Jimmy, yes, you're on the right path? Because if they're not, then I'm probably not on the right path because I'm trying to attract the woman. So that's kind of where I'm going with it on that little high horse type of thing. But, you know, when I looked at this polling that I've done of multiple hundreds and hundreds of men, there are a lot of things that are transferable. Women would not like it from men, but men are out there kind of sharing their voice, you know, now kind of more than ever. And I think you're going to see a big change in social media over the next decade of men really kind of speaking out more about what they want. You know, if you are a woman on the lookout for the perfect man, you might want to check out or listen to this podcast because you really should know what men find unattractive in women. This list is, again, compiled of a recent online forum in which men discussed what turns them off when it comes to women. One of the things that men repeatedly said was that turned them off was rudeness. Rudeness is one thing that really turned men off. You know, to start, I mean, one of the guys had said that when a woman is rude to his friends or loved one for no reason, he wouldn't even be attracted to her. Really, it's unattractive for both men and women to be rude.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, girls, when you're dating a guy and you go on your first date, and actually, I think, Jimmy, you talked about a story about this a long time ago, but if you're in there and the guy is treating the waiter, waitress, whomever, like garbage, what does that tell you? What is that?
Yeah.
And then vice versa. I mean, some of this stuff is transferable, you know, men or women. But yeah, if you're treating people you don't know rude, or family members, or you know, people within your family, that gives you a window into how they are and what they're going to do.
I've heard that a lot, actually. You know, where people will watch how the other person, how they treat that waiter or waitress. You know, there's a lot of truth to people in positions of power or people. You know, who are trying to attract the attention of the other sexes. How you treat someone who means nothing to you and can't hurt you,
that's it.
Hurt your career, hurt you physically, whatever. It says a lot about you. Even in the workforce, you know, if you watch your boss, the general manager or the VP, if they come in and they treat the people who sweep the floors or the people who are, you know, in the, I don't know, call room or whatever, if they're treating them badly, they're probably not good individuals. I've worked for a lot of people, some really great leaders who know the name of the person who's out there cleaning the cars or out there sweeping the floors, just like they know the names of the regional vice president. So I think that's right. I would absolutely kind of see that as a red flag too, if she or vice versa, if he was rude to people, you know, that could not hurt them in return. You know, just like Dwayne and I say, I mean, we can all agree that rudeness is probably a huge red flag on both sides, men to women, women to men. Another thing that men unanimously said about women that are unattractive about them is lying.
Oh, God.
Lying.
Yeah. Any kind of lying. Little white lies. That it's a window into your soul. Any type of lying. So far, it sounds this is a lot of transferable skills here, men to women, women to men. If a person that you have a potential romantic interest in is lying about, even if it's inconsequential stuff, not big items, that tells you what you're dealing with. They're not going to be in the long run.
One person on that forum had said of his girlfriend, he said he recently found out that she lies a lot about small details. And it kind of made him wonder how much more she was lying to him about. As Dwayne pointed out, trust is a huge deal in any relationship. So when it's broken, it's difficult to see how a couple can stay together. You know, one of the things I often teach younger people is trust takes months and years to build, but it can take one instance to lose.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, guys and gals, when it comes to breaking someone's trust or lying, when you do something medium or big, you can never get 100% of their trust back.
Never.
It never looks the same. Let's say that trust, 100% of trust looks like a clean piece of paper.
Right.
You crumble it up and you can unfold it. You can take it across the corner of your desk and really try to flatten that thing, but it never looks the same.
Yep.
You can break a piece of glass, put it back together, but it never looks the same. You can take a fence and hammer a nail into it and take the nail out, but that fence never looks the same. If it's a small, little, tiny lie, then you have to understand that going forward, the best you're ever going to get from that person is 99.9% of their trust. They'll never give you 100%.
Yep.
So really be careful, even with the small little white lies. So another one that was common, and I don't see this much as I get older, but I certainly saw it a lot in my 20s and early 30s, is when she gossips a lot about her friends.
Yep.
She's just dragging her friends behind their back. She will go to her friends and it's rainbows and sunshine to their face. Yep. And then as soon as you and her leave, she is tearing Becky and Jennifer up and down about her dress or all kinds of stuff. I mean, just craziness, I mean, when this unlikable trait was mentioned on that thread, it got one response I remember that said that, it's not black and white, of course, but excessive gossiping about people or being genuinely mean behind their backs is a major turnoff for me. That's what one guy had said, and it seems like sound advice and something to look out for whenever you're dating. So if you are dating a woman and really pay attention to what she says about the people when they're not around, because if she's talking bad about people when they're not around, what does she say about you when you're not around? Do you really think you're the only one, right?
Yeah, if they're talking bad to you about her friends or other acquaintances, do you honestly think that she's not going to do the exact same thing to you? I mean, it's and I see it more out of women than men, because guys, we don't gossip. We'll talk trash, we'll do whatever, but we're not like, oh God, you see what Dwayne was wearing the other day? Oh my God, see them titties or something. You don't see it in a negative way, but we see a lot of women that do that. And I'm going to tell you right now, for the guys, at least this one, it is a huge turnoff. We do not like drama, and I view gossiping as drama. And it just is just so unattractive, because also you can't just deadpan talk and give the gossip. It's always, you got the facial expressions, you got the this and that, and you're like, wow, this person, this is how they operate. It's just horrible. Man.
Yeah.
Going down some
deep. Manda brings up a really good point here. This is the pros and cons of being honest right there.
Yeah.
Because the reason why the world, men, other women, lie so much to women especially, is because women have a really hard time, more so than men, on accepting accountability, looking in the mirror, and taking constructive criticism. Guys have pretty much done that since day one. I mean, we, like I mentioned before, we know where we stand on the hierarchy of whatever subject we're talking about. But from an early age, I mean, we are kind of teaching our daughters that they're princesses and they can have anything they want, and they can grow up and be whomever they want to be. And we all know that it's just not true, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you call your little girl an ugly little thing. I'm not saying that, but I mean, whenever she gets old enough to understand life, you have to kind of, level set her so that way she has the best opportunity to win in whatever facet that she wants to play. So,
you want an example? You may not have seen this, but it was popular. They had a Shooting for the Stars TV show, and they had a person that was let's say gender confused, and he was mute, deaf, couldn't hear. and he was singing "My Heart Will Go On" by Deline, whatever her name is.
Celine Dion. Celine Dion.
And it sounded just, and again, I can say this a little bit. I have a brother that's deaf, so I can kind of say this without everyone accuse me of being mean. But again, you're missing the point of kind of where I'm going with this. But so he gave a rendition of "My Heart Will Go On" that you would expect someone that is deaf, mute, that can't talk would give singing. He got a standing ovation, and everyone was like, you just did a great job. What did that do? That just, there was no accountability. There was no, no one in that entire lineup said, dude, you can't sing.
Yeah.
It perpetuates that craziness that he needed to have someone tell him, dude, you can't sing. Don't do it.
Oh, what's the show that Kelly Clarkson won? The famous singing show with Simon Cowell was on it.
Right.
It's not America's Got Talent. It was the really popular one. It's been on for like 20 years.
Yeah.
What is that show? I don't know why I can't think of it. Someone put it in the chat room for me. What's that TV show where people would go on there and sing? Simon Cowell was the one of the judges on there. I swear he got famous. And Kelly Clarkson won season 1 of it. What is that? What is that show called? Come on, some of you. American Idol. Thank you, Amanda.
There you go.
American Idol. So, yeah, American Idol. So you guys ever watch the American Idol whenever they're all in the big room and they're kind of like practicing and stuff. And then these people would go up to audition for the panel of judges. And some of them are just downright awful, like so awful that I swore a few times that the producers must have grabbed someone from on the street, paid them $100 to come in there and just sing, because there's no way that they could be so disillusioned that they would think they would have a chance. Like, surely after a couple seasons of watching American Idol, the talent pool that that is needed in order to make it to the end. And some of these people, for goodness sakes, I mean, that's a perfect example of what Dwayne's talking about, because these people, their entire lives, they've been lied to and told that they sound great. And they might sound better than everyone in the car that they're in right now. But when you're out there on the open entertainment market with people who do this for a long time and practice a lot, I mean, you sound like a squirrel that someone's squeezing its nuts. I mean, it sounds god awful, but it does make for good entertainment. So
yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, it's just that whole lying and you're meaning well, you're not wanting to hurt their feelings, but eventually it's just not a good thing. And it's something that guys generally do. Because we're going to call it like we see it. I mean, I'm sitting there watching this going, wow, he sucks bad. And that's what you would expect someone that actually cared. I don't know who this person was, but cared. But having them, oh, you're a superstar. We're celebrating Lizzo being a 10, or Gorgon the Destroyer. We've all seen that video. And being a 10, all of her girlfriends. It was interesting because all of her girlfriends were saying, "Oh yes, you're a 10," and of course, there's a few guys there that are saying, "No, you're not. You're like a -1." And of course, then the girls laugh out at her, at the guys, and then they say, "Okay, I'm out of here." But yeah, guys, when you do that, can't stand it.
I can prove that women are just lying. Here's I can prove it on the same topic. To Dwayne's point, women will oftentimes say that Lizzo was a 10, right? Well, next time someone says that Lizzo's a 10 and she's perfect, then politely and respectfully turn right around and go, you know what? You actually remind me of Lizzo. And then watch her get upset that you told her that she reminded you of Lizzo. And then go, hold on. She was a 10. I'm telling you that you're beautiful. And because they know, people, they know what they're lying, but they still do it anyways. And guys are just like, you know what, man, forget this noise, man. I'll tell you. It's just, some of this stuff is just craziness. The next one that I saw oftentimes is obvious. It goes both ways. Once again, is cheating. Guys kind of hate that. I mean, this is obvious bad thing to do, right? I mean, both. By both sexes, to be fair, both sexes absolutely hate it. It's not something that everyone knows you shouldn't do that, right? But there were some people that felt the need to make it clear. And I remember one saying, every other bad thing I've read so far can depend on context, but this one is just a nail in the coffin, regardless to any reasons. what the guy meant is that this one's like the ultimate deal breaker is pretty much what he means. And I tell you, guys, how do I say this politically? Guys are very territorial, right? I mean, we are. That's why, what was it? General Miller had said, this one right here. General Miller had pointed out his red flag. You see that? Okay, yeah. It's when they talk about old lovers too much, right? And the reason why is because men are territorial. We don't want to hear that someone else took a pee on our fire hydrant. We want to think that we were the first, even though we know we're not the first. And when it comes to cheating, I mean, it's not right when done by any different person, men or women. But when it comes to men, if a woman cheats, by and large, the relationship is done. It is done. So, really, ladies, you got to watch out for that. I mean, I understand that being promiscuous is kind of like, I don't know. In every song, it seems like nowadays when you turn on the radio, it's like women can do whatever they want. They can sleep with whomever they want and all these things. But for the most part, guys, you have to understand that, ladies, you have to understand that men are territorial. And if you want to be able to keep a good man or retain one or attain one, you got to make sure that you do the right thing. Another one too, and this is an interesting one, was unreciprocated demands. Whenever a woman, when your girl says things like, you're not allowed to talk to another girl, you can't hang out with the guys unless I'm there, you're not allowed to drink unless I'm with you. When you start hearing that, that's a surefire way of that's a sign to go ahead and start exiting the relationship, because it's pretty fair to say that when you make a demand in a relationship, it really needs to be something that you think would be fair to do yourself. So when she starts making demands like that, unreciprocated demands, she's probably going to be very controlling, and that's certainly a red flag.
Well, if they won't live in the world they create, I mean, that's just fairness. If she's allowed to go out with her friends, but you're not allowed to go out with your friends, or she can spend money on whatever she wants to, but you have to get permission. There's so many of those things. That's a huge red flag, and it's a huge turnoff, because they would say that they would say, oh, well, you can't go do this, and then you're like, but you just did that, the exact same thing. And they get upset, mad, and they play their games, which is another huge pet peeve of mine, when they knowingly bring the tears on for no good reason, when they act the part of the victim. That annoys the hell out of me. There's a couple of them I have. I'm hoping they're on the list, unless I'll feel that I'm weird. But the playing the part, or crying, not getting what they want, or doing whatever they have to do in order to get what they want, but the not living in the world they create. That's a huge one, because we all talk about equality, and then they throw that out there. And I'm trying on my other screen here, I'm trying to find that data, that report that was done, I guess about a year ago, where it showed that women, they polled, I think it was 1,000 or 10,000 women, and it was a different number of when women said it was wrong for men to cheat, and for when it was wrong for women to cheat on men. The numbers were different. The same people were polled, but they gave different answers. That's
right.
Yeah, huge pet peeve.
That was the one where the majority of the women said that it's never it's never accepted that men cheat. But when turned around and asked, is it okay for women to cheat on
reasons?
The number's lower. So they think it's more acceptable for them to be able to cheat, but not for men. It's just pretty hypocritical. I've got one for you. One for you. And all the guys are going to be like, absolutely. You ready for this one? Okay. One of the things that are unattractive about women that they do is the 2, 3, 4-inch long fingernails.
Oh God, yeah, they look like Wolverine.
Oh,
whoever said that was cute? I mean, I'm 51 now. I'm old. I'm geriatric. Whatever. But when I see these, of course, the first thing I think of as a guy is how does she wipe her ass? But they don't look pretty. They don't. I mean, I get like if you get little short ones or whatever, that can be, going out with, on the town or whatever, that's cool. But these long, like Wolverine level, trying to go for Guinness World Book of Records type of thing, what the hell is that? And again, for the girls that are out there, if you know why, please comment, because I have no idea why. When I see a woman with long ass fingernails and they're pointed, like they have different styles. Again, my wife is trying to like educate me on some of this stuff. I'm a 2023 guy. I'm trying to fit in there and show my hipness.
Yeah.
I got pronouns now. I'm good. I mean, I'm with it. But the long fingernails, I just don't get it. And girls, at least in this old fart, not attractive at all.
That comment about the fake fingernails got a lot of upvotes, and one person was actually very quick to say, "Yep, when she's got porn star nails, it's a complete turnoff." So, it seems like some women really need to cut their nails out there, and I never understood it. I don't understand why some women do some of these things. I'm starting to become a firm believer that a lot of women in today's dating, they do it for each other and not for men. Because I don't know any man who ever has said, "Why can't my chick have the long fingernails, babe? Go next time, instead of like the normal ones, go ahead and grab me give me the old 3-inchers out there." Yeah, I mean, I want you to be able to scratch my back from across the room.
I want those 3-inch nails. Those are super long. Yeah, if you get like a 4-inch nail or a 5-inch, that's better. Sorry.
Yeah, ladies.
I got to lie to my wife and tell her that this is a full 4. So,
ladies, a good rule of thumb is if you don't want 3 or 4 inches, we don't want 3 or 4 inches. Okay, how's that? Just remember that. Remember that.
Now, a dating tip for the guys. I mean, this is a little bonus feature here. Is if girls has nice nails, not the claws or whatever from Freddy Krueger, but if she's got nice nails, compliment her. Just a random person, compliment them on their nails. Wife and I were out to dinner one night, and of course I'm a joker, idiot guy or whatever. I like to have fun, and we sit down. She comes up. I think she had like I can't remember. That was the whole, kind of how much I thought of it, but I like to just have fun. And she goes, or she came up, order and all that stuff. I go, "I love your nails." Made that lady's night. All my drinks, they just kept coming in. It was great. We had a big laugh over it and had fun. So my wife was right there and we were all having fun with that stuff. I go, see, I can be a cool guy. Anyway, bonus tip for the guys if you're wanting to score big with the ladies is if they have nice nails, notice them. I mean, I do like. I mean, I say like. I think they're a waste of money, but I do like they do the little Christmas thing on. They have a lot of cool stuff they can do with it. But you're right. If it looks like porn star, they're getting ready to do a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 7. Yeah, no, that's not happening.
And and ladies, I'm gonna be honest with you. For the ladies who do not have the 2, 3, 4-inch nails, and you guys have the normal beautiful nails that men generally and largely say that we like.
Yeah.
You guys spend a whole lot of money on those nails, man.
Okay.
I mean,
let's do some guy talk here on that. I figured out why that is. That is when women, they don't go to get their nails done. They go, it's a relaxation thing. It's like a guy going to get a massage or something. It's just to go to sit down and just have someone pamper them a little bit, and they get to chill out and just de-stress. That is actually why women get their nails done. And again, if any of the girls or guys have heard something else, please put it in the comments. But I being a guy, I asked my wife, I'm like, okay, what's the point? Because I can get you the machine. I'm a nerd. I can figure out how to do this stuff. And she's like, you don't understand. I can do this. I do this so I can relax and just chill out. I have a little glass of wine, talk to the girls. We laugh. It's all fun. That's why they do it. So
it costs like over $100, don't it? Like $100 every time they go. I don't like. I heard it was like really crazy expensive. Is it more? Is it more than 100?
I thought it was less, unless we're getting the Freddy Krueger nails. I thought it was like in the 20, 30 range. I have no idea. With my wife and I she does her thing and she spends it. That's she understands the big picture, but I didn't think it was that much.
Ladies, how much does it cost to get your nails? Jules, how much does it cost? Deborah, Amanda, can one of you guys
under
tell
death.
us what it cost?
Yeah, I don't know. They may
I'm
be under
waiting
that
for
girls'
one of the ladies
agreement where
to
they
jump
can't
in
say
there.
it. That may be one of those girl code. They can't tell you how much it costs or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, because I've done stuff like that. Like my wife wanted to get those extensions or whatever, so I pulled up like 10
Oh,
YouTube videos, learned how to do it because they wanted. It was like $1,600, and I'm like, oh hell no. So, but anyway,
to do what?
to do the extensions in her hair or whatever, that's like a big
Oh,
thing.
right.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like educated me on girl stuff. I mean, I listen and learn, but she told me how much it costs to get extensions put in your hair, and it's like $1,000. Like cheap is $1,000, and I'm like, oh
that's
hell no.
crazy.
I went
Yeah.
out and watched like 100 YouTube videos and bought the stuff and figured out how to do it, and it looked really good. I think I did a really good job on it because you get it done, and then your hair obviously grows, so those extensions go with your hair, and so you have to keep getting them moved up and everything.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh yeah, I'm
so
metrosexual.
so Clover's on, and she gave us the so $100,
Okay.
$50 to $100.
Okay, that's about
18.
right. Yeah, that's about right.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I don't know. It just seems like a whole lot of money when you add it up. For you got to go and get it done once a month or something like that. I don't know. But what I was going to say though is, there was a couple of ladies that I dated that I remember. Last minute we were going to go somewhere like an event, and she went to the store and bought a kit to do it herself. I don't know what that's called.
Oh, the press-ons and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So and then she like filed them, and like she's at in the kitchen just doing it herself.
Right.
And I'll speak for myself. She didn't really know too much about how to do it. I could tell she was like new to it,
Right.
and it kind of looked the same as when she went to the place and did it. I really didn't notice any difference, but she paid like a fraction of what it would cost for someone else to do it. So I don't know. I mean, if you're there for the massage and the relaxation and things like that, I get it. Todd says it costs $20. The wines, the rest of it, so
it's a relaxation thing, which is awesome. She gets away for a bit. She gets to chill out, do a little girl time, pampered. I think that's a little bit of it, pampering, and then she comes back all refreshed. That's a win in my book.
Yeah. So check this out. So A North says that his ex spends about $65 for her nails. He's got his 6-year-old spying on her. So yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking too. 60, 80, $100 or whatever. So, all right. And the long ones, hold on. Oh, Brandy's on. The long ones with 10 pounds of glitter are 100 to 150. Short ones are 20. Okay. So
thank God she's happy with the short ones.
Yeah. Well, she gave herself a lifelong commitment to the short ones, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
So assuming that Manny is right, and I'm sure she knows way better than we do.
Right.
The longer the nail, the more money it costs. The more decorative the nail, the more money it costs. Logic makes perfect sense. So then that would mean that the women that have the nails that men don't like are paying extraordinary prices for something that we don't even like. We actually wish you would have the shorter ones. That's what I'm gathering from this.
Yeah. I mean, logic would say, if you're getting the big old Freddy Kruegers, don't do it. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Ladies, stay away from that. Like we really don't like that. One that I saw a few times, it wasn't a lot of it, but I did see enough for me to write it down, is lack of empathy. Lack of empathy in women was a turnoff for men. Yeah. The lack of empathy is usually more associated with masculinity, and because men, we're going to be the ones that I don't know, we're going to have to see, like, men are the ones that are expected to go through fire and deal with hardships and deal with those kind of things. We try to protect our women from that. We don't want our women to be hardened. We don't want our women to be jaded, see too much evil in the world. We want to keep you guys pure and innocent. And that's soft. What we love about you. Soft, right? Mm-hmm. And when a woman lacks empathy, I mean, a femininity by nature is love, it's comfort, it's peace,
Right.
right? And when women lacks empathy, then it's really a pretty good sign of masculinity in a woman.
Yeah.
And by and large, men do not like masculine women. And the more masculine the man, the less he's probably going to want a masculine woman. Femininity is our kryptonite. We will give everything to protect you, to
Right.
keep you happy when you're feminine and pure and things like that. So whenever a woman lacks empathy, it's generally associated with a I don't care about anyone, anything kind of a thing. And men will probably go ahead and put you in the sex only zone if you lack empathy, because there's not a lot of men who are going to take that kind of characteristics and make you a wife of it and a mother of his children if you lack empathy.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. So when you
Yeah.
say empathy, can you give some examples of empathy? Because
So
maybe some of the people on here, they hear the word, they don't understand what the word means, like in the way you're describing it.
yeah, sure, sure. So a lot of people actually get sympathy and empathy kind of mixed up.
Right.
Most people are sympathetic and not empathetic. Here's the difference. Most men by nature are sympathetic, and a lot of women are empathetic. If Dwayne and I were talking, and Dwayne was telling me about something that happened with him, right? Let's say that he lost his job, and he's going through some troubles, things like that. I can understand what Dwayne's going through. Sympathy is when I can understand it and I feel bad for it. I can relate to it. Empathy is different. Empathy is whenever Dwayne's pain, I actually feel the same pain that Dwayne feels.
Right.
That's why you'll hear some women be called empaths.
Right.
That derives from the word empathetic, and it's not necessarily a compliment in all cases. It certainly can be, but the
Right.
problem with it is when you're empathetic, you actually are feeling the pain of the person that's going through it, and less about understanding it. And I have dated women who are empaths. There's certainly a lot more female empaths than ever there would be men that are empaths. And here's the problem, ladies, and you guys, those of you who are very empathetic, the ladies, I'm talking to the ladies. The reason why a lot of people love you so much is because you can feel their pain, and people don't want to be alone when they're going through the challenges of life.
Right.
The downside to being an empath is the obvious that you guys already know. When you are done with your talking, you are literally drained, because you felt everything that person was going through, and you leave the relationship or the conversation feeling drained. You see, being sympathetic means that I have this bucket and it's full of my my soul, my love for that person, and I can understand what Dwayne's going through. If I'm empathetic, I'm actually it's leaving my bucket to fill up his, and my bucket is empty when I leave the conversation. Now that's a very outward look to life, and you're going to have a whole lot of friends because people don't mind taking from everybody else. I'm not saying don't be empathetic. What I'm saying is monitor and manage how much of your natural energy you give away, because there's a reason why they tell you to put your mask on first when you're in an airplane, when the masks fall from the ceilings, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't help the people that you're around. So, that's basically the biggest difference between sympathetic and empathetic is one, you understand, and one, you actually feel.
Perfect.
Cool.
See? Educational. Comedy,
Hey,
educational, and good stuff.
It's Big Show podcast, baby. So another one, and this goes both ways, another one that goes both ways, and I kept hearing this, and I laughed about it because some of these guys have really good stories, is when a woman chews with her mouth open.
Like, I'm guilty of that one.
Are you? Yeah. People were just saying that chewing with your mouth open is nasty, and one guy said it actually makes you look like a cow.
And nose rings, the cow thing.
Yeah. So, manners and table manners, they actually came up a lot on that thread, and chewing with your mouth open was a particularly unattractive trait that I heard. So
Can we remove Brandy from this one because I'm waiting for her to type
Oh
a
no.
comment here. She swears to God I need a bib. Like I eat like a 4-year-old. Like when I eat, like after it's done, there's just crap everywhere. I don't know how it happens. I need to get like a camera on me and just watch. But I think something happens. But yeah, whenever I eat, it's like it's all over my face. It's on the table, and sometimes she's like, "What the hell is wrong with you? Do I need to get like
Yeah,
a feed bag or a bib or something?" And I'm like, "I don't know. This is what I
something.
do." I mean, of
I
course,
mean,
those skills are transferable, and she's still staying with me, so we'll just leave that there.
Mandy's a perfect example of love is blind. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's blind, dumb, stupid, kind of moronic, actually. So on your list, because there's one I definitely want to have. Oh boy, yeah, she did comment. We got to block her. But but is there on your list? Is there? Oh, how do I? Because I don't want to give it away if you already have it on there and kind of ruin the feng shui of the show. But facial accoutrements, stuff. Let's just say war paint. Is that on your list?
yeah.
Okay, I would
So
definitely want to talk
it's not
about
on the
that
list,
one.
but I saw it often.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
One thing I did see reoccurring was that when women have face piercings and stuff.
yeah, face piercing. It's that and war paint. I like my wife, natural beauty. Actually, I was telling her about that just today. You know, she doesn't wear. I mean, she wears makeup when she goes out and stuff like that, but she's like one of those natural beauties, and that's I guess my style. You know, I want natural beauty. I don't want 320 layers of spackle on their face and whore eyes and all that stuff. But when I see a lot of women nowadays, it's like they are like going off to war or something. Just like all the junk in the 3 hours to, and we've all seen those transformation videos where you take like a -1, they turn into a 10 kind of thing. I mean, you've seen all the
Yeah.
videos, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I mean, a little bit of makeup just to enhance, great if you're going down in town. But I see these women that have this stuff just caked on. It is the most unattractive thing to me. And then also, when they looked at it, they couldn't get through a metal detector, sound. I mean, they got like, I don't know what the hell it is on the, just not, and face tattoos and stuff like that. But yeah, just natural beauty, natural beauty, and long hair.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Love long hair.
Yeah. Guys love femininity, right? And so if I had a daughter, I would probably kind of warn her about getting putting on too much makeup. I would warn her about getting overly pierced around, and I would warn her about getting tattoos. Tattoos by nature is a kind of a masculine thing. I'm not saying that it's a deal breaker for me. I'm just saying that me personally, my preference would be no tattoos. So if she can make it up in other areas, then I can overlook some of the tattoos. But here's the thing about it. I would be overlooking it. It's not something that promotes it. It kind of detracts. It's not a promoter. It's a detractor. And yes, there are guys out there who love tattoos, but I would want my daughter to have the best chance to attract the best kind and caliber of man she could. If she over tattooed herself, I think that it would limit the dating pool a little bit, and her choices would be a little more limited than they would be if she didn't have tattoos. Guys, and that's how guys think. I mean, we're very linear like that. What is going to yield the best results? And we had to think like that because we had to build this world. We had to make sure that we have the best chances to build houses that don't fall down during the first storm. We had to build cars that's not going to put you on the side of the street at 2:00 in the morning. And so we have to be precise, and we have to find out the best way to do a task. So that's how our brains work. It doesn't work great 100% of the time, of course, but I think by and large, the piercings in the nose, the piercings in the eyebrow, the piercings on the nips and downstairs. It's
3 inches of cake
sending
on their
the
face.
wrong. Yeah, the tongue piercing. I mean, ladies, if you could hear what guys say about you when they're talking about your tongue piercing, can you? I mean, I'm not going to say it on camera, but can you pretty much figure out what we think you're good at? I mean,
you're not marriage material.
So
you're one night material.
You're going to put yourself in the sex only category. And I don't want you guys to be in the sex only category. I want men to take you guys seriously. So, some of these things are going to be detractors. Dwayne and I have said this oftentimes, and the guys here know it's true. For the most part, there's one of two categories. You're either wife material or you're everything else. And what does the everything else typically mean in the eyes of men? It's the sex only category. Yeah. Ladies, I'll put it to you this way. This is the best way that I can help you guys understand this. Okay. Ladies, you know how you have male friends and you put them in the friend zone, the friend only zone, right? Ladies, if you had 100 friends that were guy friends, right? And all 100 was in the friend zone only category. Mm-hmm. What percentage of those guys will ever make it out of the friend zone to be in a relationship with you? I'd say it's less than 5%, maybe 1%, right? So it's the same thing for us. If we had 100 female friends or ladies that were dating, I want you to understand that out of 100 of those female friends, we are putting most of you in the sex only zone, and there's not a lot of you that come out of the sex only zone once you're in it. So I want you to understand that guys really do that. They'll put you in that sex only zone, and you are not coming out of it once you're in. And the way you behave, the way that you dress, the piercings, the tattoos, the masculinity. Listen, guys will still sleep with you if you have all these traits, but you're not interested in running up your body count. We're interested in wedding rings here, ladies, right? So I want you guys to have the best chance. And women that are that lack empathy or have a whole bunch of facial tattoos, facial piercings, they're just gonna have a harder time not being in that sex only zone.
Did you mention the friends? Have you got? Is that on your list, or is that a bonus round?
It's not on the list, but it certainly makes the bonus round. And what Dwayne's alluding to is the fact that one of the things that are unattractive about women is when they have too many guy friends. That's basically what he's saying right now. So look, that's a huge red flag. Huge red flags. I've talked about that before in other podcasts. Many men will contest. How can I prove that's true also, ladies? Because some of you go, oh, well, that's not necessarily true. I've got guy friends I don't sleep with. I'm not talking about acquaintances. I'm talking about guy friends who you text, who you talk to on the phone, who you message back and forth on social media at least once a week or more. We're talking about those guys, not the guys that you say Merry Christmas to on Christmas every year. Not them. Okay. Let me put it to you this way, ladies. Okay. Did your grandmother have guy friends? Did grandma have guy friends? No, she didn't. But many of you do have guy friends. Okay. So the women who are seeking the non-sexual attention of other men other than their man, that's a big red flag for guys. Big red flag. Another one too is women that play mind games.
Oh God.
That's an unattractive quit. Yeah. Women who play mind games. Some people just want people to be straight and upfront, and one guy pointed it out when he said, yeah, I hate those tests. I will purposely fail those tests just so I can prove my point that I'm not chasing you. That's what one guy said. And he said he was perfectly fine chilling with his dog all day. Ladies, guys don't want to play mind games. They don't. And
mean what you say what you mean. Spit it out.
Yeah. Now more than ever, guys are pursuing less than they have. Our grandfathers were pursuers of women, and there's not a lot of guys who are going to approach you and target anymore. You just see that less and less and less. So when you get a guy that you're interested in, a guy that is a guy that you deem as valuable, high octane, high value, you want to watch out for the kind of mind games that you want to play. Now, don't mistake that for your shit test. Okay, I'm an advocate of shit testing people. You want to vet, but you don't want to play games, because the kind of guy that you are going to want is going to be no dummy. He's no dummy. So that's one unattractive trait. Another one is stringing people along. A lot of guys said they didn't like women who did that.
I don't know what I want to do. I'm confused. Yeah, no.
Right. Yeah. One guy said that he had enough of women messing with him and messing around with him and things like that, and explained that that he recently, let me think what he said. He said he recently cut ties with a woman that he had a lot of compatibility with because he noticed that she was stringing multiple guys along for attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that kind of goes back and forth to the guy friend thing, right? Not for all women, not for all, but it kind of goes back and forth to the guy thing. I oftentimes say, and I said it on this podcast, that when women seek the non-sexual attention of men, that's a big red flag. And when women string guys along, what they're doing is they're kind of keeping them on the bench while they pursue the one guy they really like. And if that falls through, she's going to take the player off the bench and pop him in. Yeah, the whole, pop these guys in the friend zone and keep them on deck. Guys are not going to be down with you having a bunch of guy friends because they know that a lot of times there's a guy waiting in the cusp for it to be next, right? So you want to be careful with that.
Social media, friends, kind of the theme of what you're talking about here in the whole social media. If you're popping, oh, hey, I'm making some chicken salad tonight and doing this, and you're trying to get all that male attention and stuff, huge turn off. Huge.
Yeah, I'm scrolling ahead to see if that's on the list. It kind of is. It kind of is. We're getting to it, but it is kind of on the list. So other than that, another one that was on the list is Karen stereotypes. When your girl is acting like a Karen,
yeah.
Being a Karen is unattractive. Just like being a Chad is unattractive. Being a Karen is definitely unattractive. And these guys, they went into more detail by saying that he didn't want to be in that kind of relationship because it would be so annoying and embarrassing and would lead to a very toxic type of relationship for her to get out there and want to speak to the manager, always being complaining, all that stuff. So ladies, if you're being a little bossy or very, very assertive, understand that's masculine traits. Those are masculine traits. So when a woman has no problem getting ready to go to battle, go to war, that's a masculine trait. Does being a Karen exude softness, peace? Does it exude peace?
No.
Do you not know, ladies, that men want peace? Being a Karen
drama
does not do that, right? We don't want that drama. When we come home after fighting the world, we want to have peace. And if a woman has that Karen type of attitude, she gots to go. You'll never have peace, guys. This one is another obvious one. The one I wrote down here. Men, no surprise. Men find it very unattractive when women are too flirty with other men.
Yeah, it goes to that social media. That goes to the friend zone.
Women found very, very unattractive was when they are too flirty with men. Hey, Dwayne, are you having are we having problems with the internet? Because I saw it was cutting out in and out. Is that?
Looks like yours is a little bit. Yeah, the video part's goofing up, and then you have like a little max headroom thing every once in a while. But I'm trying to work with it. Unless it's just maybe it's on my side. Who knows? It's okay. It's that South Texas internet down there. It takes a while for it to get up here or something. I don't know.
Guys, I apologize about the internet. Sorry about that. But what I was saying is that one of the unattractive things that women do sometimes is they're too flirty with other men. Being friendly is one thing, right? But flirting is a complete other. I said it before just a couple minutes ago. Men are territorial and will not tolerate their women seeking the seeking sexual attention from men, especially even non-sexual attention is bad enough, but seeking the sexual attention of men when they're being flirty, guys are not going to put up with that. And a lot of guys will check that shit real quick.
What about the inverse of that?
Being flirty with men will also lead to men assuming that you are easy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there must be a delay because I said that.
What was that? I'm sorry. The internet was having a hard time on my end. I couldn't hear you.
I was going to say, is the inverse of that with flirty, the inverse of that jealousy when a woman is just overly jealous of her man? Is that on the list, or is that something to talk to?
Being jealous, if it's not on the list, it certainly should be jealous because that's an unattractive trait by both people. But when women are overly flirty with other men, I tell you, ladies, that's a quick way of finding yourself in the sex only zone.
Oh yeah.
Because wife material ladies are not actually out there. Oh my God! Oh yes, I know, honey. They're not out there doing. They're not out there doing that kind of stuff. Another one that that I'm sure a lot of women will be like, okay, yeah, good point. Is men find when women are being fake unattractive. Poor Dwayne. He's been through this whole list with women in the past. He's just like, oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, being fake.
Yeah. It can be difficult. It can be difficult to navigate the dating pool as it is, but the when you're navigating the dating protocol, this sometimes leads to women being over the top in their mannerisms. They're trying to figure out what it is that you want from her. So she's being fake and trying to put on that acting show. One person I remember said that if I see you being an unpleasant person, then he'll know who your dark side is. If you fake being nice, I don't know what you're hiding, and it's scary. Another guy said that. So, being fake is nothing more than just putting on a mask. We know, and we can pick up, ladies, when you're not being genuine, when you're being fake, and that is a telltale sign that there's probably going to be some white lies and some red flags that's going to uncover themselves down the road. So guys see that as an unattractive trait. Another one that guys find unattractive is when women do not take care of their children. When they're not looking after their children. One guy said that a woman not looking after a child is unattractive. And while, total neglect is obviously worrisome, some people pointed out that the baby's father needs to look after the children too. Another person said that both parents should be equally involved, and pointed out that sexism, the sexism in the comments and things like that. So when women are not looking after their children because they're out, they want to go out and have a party life or party all the time. When women are leaving the kids and letting their mothers or the kids' grandmother raise them instead of the woman raising them, it's an unattractive trait, because when men are looking to get married, they're looking for wife material, but they're also looking for mother material, right? Just like women are looking for a leader of the household, a man with masculinity to lead. Women are also looking for men who are going to be good fathers, who are going to make good fathers. So if a man dates a woman that already has a family, before him, how she treats her kids is going to speak how she will probably treat your guys' kids should you guys have children. So, for the guys out there who are okay with women who have children already, and you want to have an extended relationship, she has her kids and you guys have kids together. I'm not here to tell you what you want or what you should want or look for, but how she treats her kids currently is a good indicator of how she's going to treat the kids whenever you guys have them together. You and Brandy have children from past relationships.
I have 2 bio boys and a bonus daughter we brought together. Bringing them together. Red flag, of course. Then by the time they've the two have met each other, and then doing that whole hopefully the slow cooker process of bringing those families together in a blended environment. I would say a turnoff. Though with that is when one parent or one they treat their kids differently than they treat yours. That is a huge turnoff, where like one can get away with whatever, but the other one is held to a different standard, even though it's it's also scaled differently. I mean, it's not always 1-to-1, but when there was an obvious disparity between how children are handled, bio versus bonus, that is a huge turnoff.
Yeah. Folks who are listening on Facebook, folks who are listening on YouTube, if you guys don't mind, push that like button. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel, so that way when Dad when Dad Talk Today goes live, you guys will be able to jump on there and be with us while we're going live. Guys, push that like button. Also, be sure to put it in the comments. What are some of your guys' red flags, from the women to the men, from the men to the women? Because Dwayne and I will read some of these comments here in a little bit and answer some of the questions you guys might have.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what you find unattractive in the opposite sex as well. Another red flag that I think we can all agree with is when she talks about her ex, when talking about the ex a lot. One of the guys had already put it in the comment section earlier in the podcast. Dating etiquette says that any talk about an ex is kind of banned. It can be very, very uncomfortable. It seems some women did not get the memo when one person that they said that they hate. When one person said that they hate when women refuse to shut up about their ex on the first date. So there's a couple conversations you guys really want to avoid having on first dates, and talking about their ex is definitely one of them. And also people who talk a lot about the ex in a negative way, that could be unattractive as well. Dwayne, have you ever been in a situation where she was constantly talking about her ex, and every guy that she's ever dated was toxic, and he could never do any right? Have you ever been in that situation before?
I've been on a date or two it was just kind of all my previous ones were blah, horror. And then I'm going, well, let's see, they all had one thing in common, you. So that would then cross them off the list. It goes, again, with a blended family, and we had that early on. I mean, like it or not, the ex is going to be involved, especially if you have kids involved. And when I did our blending, I handled. I mean, I did talk about her probably more than I should have, and I should have spent more time just letting my wife see her behavior and coming to her own conclusion, which she did. I mean, I kind of gave her the ground rules of, hey, this is what's going on. Here's this, here's that. And then they, got a chance to meet once or twice. And then she got to see how, she handled things. And she's like, wow, okay, you didn't lie about one thing. In fact, you left a bunch of crap out that made it even worse. Talking, especially early on in a relationship, going on about the ex, it's not that attractive. I think Sam Kinison said it best. I'm not allowed to talk about the specifics of the Sam Kinison comedian special, but if you ever get a chance to watch Sam Kinison, he has a good little bit on talking about your exes with your new partner. But yeah, it's how you do it. I mean, it's how you talk about it, and then how much information you give over a period of time.
Another one that guys kept saying all the time too is being a party girl can be unattractive. Out there on the weekends, every weekend, girls' night, every single weekend, all the time, that was unattractive. You might think that being the kind of gal who's down for whatever, goes out nonstop, and is always looking for a good time is a way to attract a man, because guys like to have fun too. But being an out of control party animal can come back to bite you. It really can. In fact, most men try to stay away from party girls because these women have a tendency to act recklessly, make poor decisions, probably under the influence of alcohol, and really put themselves and others in uncomfortable and potentially harmful situations.
Well, men will put them in one of two categories, and I think we both know what category they put them in: the fun zone,
right?
And that would be it.
They're
zone. Not marriage material. They're not. Being that fun girl, they're going to spend time with you, then go get tested. That's how they're going to think of you, and it's unattractive outside of that 30 seconds of fun.
Yeah, if you're a lady who's in her party phase and you don't want to be married, being seen as a party girl is a great way of never being married. But if you are the kind of gal who is looking for a long-term relationship where a man has respect for you, looks at you like a lady, and wants to, you want to be a wife one day, you don't want to be that party girl. Trust me, you don't want to be that. Guys will put you in the sex only category, and do not have guys put you in the sex only category. Another thing, ladies, that you might think guys find attractive, but Absolutely does not, and it goes right next to the fingernails. Dwayne, what do you think it is?
Oh, I have no idea.
It's not the fingernails. It's the
Oh, the
eyelashes.
eyebrows. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, half these women, it looks like they got those funny things off your car. Like I've seen them where they'll put them like on little VW bugs or whatever. I
On the
swear.
Beatles. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, did you get that from AutoZone? I mean, it's yeah, that yeah. Again, but that goes back to I prefer the natural beauty of a woman, and there are a lot of natural beauties out there. I would say there are women that would be very attractive if they didn't put on the war paint and put on the the jousting level eyelashes. I mean, that just it doesn't it's not pretty. At least from this whole
It's
guy.
not. I mean, and remember, ladies, I talk to a ton of guys. They share with me about this stuff all the time. And I'm in my mid-40s. I've been around the block. I've never ever once ever heard a guy say that long fingernails and long eyelashes is attractive on a woman. They're always talking smack about those two things. So I would really, I tell you right now, you're not getting the reciprocation that you guys are hoping for. Something else that we watch for, or it's a red flag from us that some of the ladies do, is when they hate on other women.
Mm-hmm.
You ever been around a woman where she's just hating on other women for no reason at all?
It's that
I remember
that jealousy. That when I talk about jealousy, is for guys and girls when they have that jealousy for their man, but they have it comes from insecurity and jealousy when they're like, oh, look at her and her cheap shoes and. It's not a real Louis Vuitton bag, and it's not this, and no, her hair is fake or whatever. Guys, I mean, well, okay, here's one. This is one I think every guy's going to laugh at. Someone will go, she's got fake boobs. I think I don't care. That's pretty much. Guys don't care about that. We're like, all right. And it's insecurity. When they do that, they're insecure, and guys pick up on that. Especially when they talk about the fun bags, we're like, you don't understand. We don't. We're show me them titties. We don't care.
Yeah. We're if you go get fakies, you're never gonna get kicked out of bed. Trust me. But whenever it came to the hating random women for no reason comment, that thing got like 17,000 thumbs up by other men real quick. So it caught my attention. Yeah. I remember this one guy had said that he dated a girl who always had something nasty to say about every girl with an eyesight, and it got old really quick, Someone else had said, who said insecurity? Amanda. Amanda said insecurity, and this guy here, I wrote down his quote. He said insecurity tends to be unattractive to everyone, to Amanda's point.
Oh, yeah.
And another guy said that he calls them pick-me-up girls. They usually only put other girls down to get attention from men. Right. So, it's just unattractive. To everyone's point, it screams insecurity. So a woman who constantly hates on other women all the time for no reason, they're very jealous, and that woman's probably going to fight you one day. So you want to be careful. Another one, and this is actually one that I'll speak for myself. This
Personal
one bothers
Jimmy.
me. Okay. Yeah, it is, man. It is. Yeah, it is. Whenever women drop hints instead of just being direct.
God. Oh, okay. It's not a Jimmy thing. It's a every guy in the world thing. Just tell us what the hell you want.
So I'm not alone on this then.
No. Yeah. No.
Okay.
It's every
because not being direct is a common complaint from men. It's just so common for me to hear this about that men have about women. A few women stepped in actually when that comment was posted to explain why they do this. But overall, the consensus was that men really do not like this at all and wish they would be more direct in their communication. So
why do they do it? Why did these women say it?
They were saying it. They were kind of saying that we want you guys to want to do it. Like I don't want to tell you. I want you to want to do it. And guys are like, but why would we want to cut the lawn? You know, we don't.
Why do we want to take you to the Peach Festival? We don't.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't want to go to the opera. I don't want to hang up my underwear that I throw on the floor. I'll do it because I know it's annoying and we both have to cohabitate. But, dropping the subtle hints every once in a while. Ladies, if you haven't noticed, guys don't really listen to a lot of what you guys say because we're just focused on one thing. We don't multitask as well as you. I can't be watching TV and then listening to a full conversation you're having. I've got to go, huh? What was that? And I've got to direct my attention. We just tend to kind of zone on something that we're doing. And I think it's because all the building that men have had to do, we had to be focused on one task because we have to produce, we have to build something. And, when it comes to being social, though, it's not a very good quality for men to be directly on one thing. When it comes to being social, you have to do multiple things. And women are very social by nature. So women have a very good ability to multitask, to do more than one thing, a little more than men do. So the point is this, ladies, if you want to avoid frustration from your man, just be a little more direct, not masculine, not overbearing, not rude or mean. But if you are getting a little bit tired of us not cutting the lawn because it's starting to grow, just say, hey, babe, I asked you last week to cut the lawn. It's starting to grow out of control and it's just going to make the house look bad. And it's going to make you have a harder time cutting grass that's 5 inches tall. Can you cut the grass this weekend, please, when you're off?
I'm going to say you kind of started going into that nagging zone, which is on my list.
Fair.
It's like
fair enough, but I mean, at least you know what page you're on.
Oh yeah, not like wow, the grass looks kind of weird.
Can you cut the lawn for once?
Totally get that. Yeah, but the nagging, that's one that completely turns me off, and I just zone out. But yeah, mean what you say what you mean, spit it out. Don't walk around. Look, if you want something, tell us. We don't have a problem. I'll walk around naked. That tells you what I'm thinking of. That's
yeah.
Men are very direct. We're like, this is what I want to do, or this is, I want this, not, I don't know, what I want to do, or I'm going to do some backwards around 20 million conversation, or have my best friend call you and text you to come up with just tell us, just spit it out. It saves a lot.
Yeah. It really does. Dwayne, let's go to the comment section. Let's answer some of these questions and give people their 15 minutes of fame here. So let's see. I'm just gonna scroll back a little while here. We got Todd. Give your empathy, don't let it be taken. Yep, fair enough. I mean, easier said than done, but certainly is good advice. Yeah. Why is it that a girl can go spend $100 to $150 to get her nails done, but if a guy spends $20 or $70 on a video game, it gets scolded? Yeah,
that's the live in the world you create.
Fair point.
If the girl says, I'm getting my nails done, boy, this reminded me of someone kind of close to me. But if a guy is, or if a girl's going out and spending money on this, and the guy says, hey, I want to go get a video game, and he's getting scolded for it, she's not living in the world she created, and that's a red flag, and you get the hell out.
Yeah. And ladies, I know that it upsets you guys when guys play video games sometimes, but keep in mind, he's at your house playing video games and he's doing something he enjoys. It's his peace. He could be out running the streets, so be happy that he's at home playing video games.
Well, okay, he's playing a video game. He's talking to other guys. They're saying, hey, go left, go right, do this, shoot that guy, do this. He's not like, well, I don't know, because the grass is getting kind of high. They're using your analogy from earlier. Grass is getting kind of high, and our neighbors don't like it. Blah, 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 blah. We don't give a shit. Go left, go right, shoot the person. I mean, that we're wanting to get away from that, put our headphones on and tune everything out. And I'll be honest, I mean, I'll pop on a zombie game and sit there. Actually, Eric and his brother and I were playing yesterday for a while, and we sat there, shot the shit, and just had fun and killed zombies. And it was just relaxing. It's chill out time. There's no drama. That's all we're looking for.
So years ago, probably about 15 years ago or so, there was something called a body bug. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it in the fitness industry. And it was a device that strapped around your arm, and it would tell it would be able to. You left it on your arm all day long. That was the con to it. I think that's why it ultimately didn't really pick a lot of traction. But what it did was it read how many calories you're burning.
Oh.
So that way, if you have to eat if your daily caloric need is 2,000 and you do a lot of cardio that day, and now you know your daily caloric need is 2,800, you could eat the right amount of food knowing what your calorie expenditure was from day to day. So it was a really cool device. But the point is this, is I remember I'd had this thing on 24 days, 365, right? And I could see when I look at the chart, when I was sleeping and when I woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, it was a little spike. And then when I was sleeping, it was kind of cool, right?
Right.
And I remember having a conversation where I was telling people that I actually burn less calories and my heart rate is lower when I'm playing video games than it was when I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I was more at peace playing video games because I can see that I played a video game from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and I could see that I burned less calories and I was more at peace with my heart rate. It was slower, I should say, when I was playing video games than when I was actually sleeping.
Yeah, I can believe it.
So yeah, so ladies, to Dwayne's point, it is for some guys a way to just kind of like zone out a little bit, sharpen the saw, that kind of stuff. So don't take it too hard on the guys. All right, so
here's a crazy one. Suggesty Ghost plays video games. My rock star wife does. She's like, why don't you go upstairs and hang out for a couple hours and do your thing?
Yeah.
Rock star. I mean,
so this one, I guess, is a red flag for Amanda. She says, for me, having the phone out at a dinner table.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that's a good movie theater. I'm just going to throw that out there as a zinger. Yeah. Yeah. Having the phone out or always being on the phone. Like I'm trying to talk to you about something serious and you're yeah, that's a no. Huge red flag. Or when you're
how many male friends
getting text from the guy you're cheating on with your current boyfriend or vice versa with. Yeah. Sorry, I had to get that out there.
So here's a very fair, good question by Amanda. And Dwayne, I'll go ahead and let you handle this one.
Okay.
So how many male friends are acceptable? Because she knows some men where just one is too many. What do you think? What do you think the answer is going to be for most men? Generally speaking, most men are going to say what?
It's gonna. I hate to say it depend, but okay. As far as most men, I couldn't even think. I hate to say more than one.
I'm gonna preface it by this, okay?
Yeah.
Male friends is not acquaintances,
right?
That these are guys that you're friends with. So you're talking to them on a regular basis, either via text or on the phone, or seeing them, or even going out with them. Okay, right. How many male friends is acceptable?
See, I have to go like, have they ever been romantically acquainted with them at any point in time? Are they in love with them or in like with them? Have I met them? And it's all, I mean, it could have been we were all friends. I could have been high school friends, and then I start dating the girl, but we're all still friends. It just, I guess it depends on the type of relationship. I guess I hate to even hazard a guess. I mean, I know for some people, one is too many.
I will say that from talking to thousands of men, Manda, one is too many.
One, okay, that's kind of what I thought.
More because even if can you imagine your girl going out to watch a movie at the movie theater with her guy friend? Or can you imagine your girl going out for lunch on a Saturday with her guy friend? Guys are territorial, and men know the mind of other men. We know that it's a bad deal to be a friend with a girl, because guys, if they're going to spend their resources on females, because keep in mind, when guys are going out, even with a friend, they're wondering, hey, should I pay for the lunch? If someone comes into this restaurant with a gun, I'm going to protect my friend, the same way as I would protect my girl. So,
and it's the perception of what's out there in public. If you're a whatever, and one of your buddies goes, hey, I saw your girl out with this guy, and they're whatever. What's the hell's up with that? It's gonna reflect back on you.
And then you have to explain to all your buddies why they saw your girl out with another guy, and you got to go, oh, no, that's just a friend of hers. They've been friends for a long time. Well, you lose frame, you lose respect in the eyes of the other guy friends, and respect is a big deal for a lot of guys. So, Amanda, to answer your question, I think most men, most over 50% are going to say that one guy friend is too many, not acquaintances, guys that you.
Well, and what aren't you getting from your guy that you're getting from your male friend? And it can be flipped back around. What are you getting from that girl that you're best friends with that you're not getting from your significant other? I mean, that's one of the reasons why you have those relationships anyway. And a lot of it just, it all depends. Depends on your relationship. If there's been any issues in the past, stuff like that.
So Clover brings up a fair question, right? She says, "Hey, this is going back to whenever I made the comment about I don't want my woman fighting all the battles and stuff." And what was the one trait that we had talked about?
She isn't married.
Being a Karen. I think this is when I think Clover made a comment about this when we were talking about being a Karen. So, are you intending to fight all her battles? What happens in the interim when she isn't married? Hey, fair question. Fair question. So, the short answer is that I think that women should not be fighting battles ever. To be honest, I don't think that you going through life always with the perception of fighting is probably the best course of action. I think that you should be in your feminine every single situation. And if you're too out there, even as a single woman, I get it that you sometimes have to play both roles. But if you're a single woman and you didn't get customer service the way that you feel your customer service should be had, do you have to go into Karen mode?
Right.
No, I don't think that's a good idea, because your thoughts become your habits and your habits become who you really are. And then whenever you find the kind of man who wants you in your feminine, how are you going to be able to turn that switch off? I mean, when you've done something for so long, and also, the guys who might want to have approached you out there in the public, if they see you acting that way, you probably just turn them away. So it's tough. It's a tough one for women. They get a bad shake in life because, especially single mothers, because when you're a single mom, you have to try to play both roles, and you're never meant to play both roles. And you get a fair shake at it. I'll definitely agree with that one. But not Manda. Who was that? That was Clover. Clover. I will say this, hon. I will say that you attract more bees with honey. I think that if you're a sweet, go ahead.
Well, it depends, I guess, on the situation. I mean, oddly enough, these two events happened at a movie theater, different ones. One was we were all there, and the waiter accidentally poured an entire glass of soda on me. It was a dark theater and all that stuff, and I laughed it off. It was funny, whatever. And then there's that. My wife, she didn't, stand up and flip out or do whatever, and act, crazy and scream, and I want this, and you're going to comp all of our tickets. And, she didn't, go that mode. And that would be something she took my direction, and it was all good. We had another scenario where a family was sitting next to us, and they couldn't keep their unruly kids calm. And I stood up, explained how things were going to work out. And then, we left, we got our tickets comped, and we moved on. In both instances, I handled that, and nothing, bad happened, where she took the direction. She didn't go Karen mode. And that's something that I would, respect her on, is she, took my lead in that scenario. To get, I guess, to what Clover was saying, though, as far as, should they fight all the battles? There's fight the battle, and there's Karen mode. I think we were talking Karen mode. It's, had something happen.
Karen mode.
Do what?
Yeah, we were talking Karen mode. Yeah.
See, that's different. I mean, had she actually said, "Hey, you probably should have comped her tickets or something," it was all in the way she. Even if she went that route, it's all in the way she would have handled it. I don't know. I probably want to know more, kind of what Clover was thinking when she made that comment. Like more scenarios or something like that. But I guess it's just all in the way a person handles it. And of course, I'm observing those things.
Yeah, and Dwayne's right. I mean, the art of diplomacy really is a underappreciated art. For you to be able to go through life, man or woman, and talk your way through tough situations shows a lot of character. There's nothing better than watching someone not lose their cool talk in a calm manner, articulate what they're trying to say, and defuse the situation and get everyone happy at the end. You know, the guys and gals who have that talent are respected. So men or women, I think that men can be Karens as well. But for a woman who's expected to be feminine, you know, it's seen a little more negative than a man, because men are kind of expected to fight battles. Women are not expected to. So I just want you guys to understand that, you know, diplomacy is probably always the way to go, but actually full blown Karen mode, avoid that if you can, you know. Here's one for you, buddy. Here's one for you.
Okay.
There are people out there. There are people out there who don't mind a cow. For those of you who don't know what that means, that was an inside joke. A few minutes later, Dwayne actually eats with his mouth open and chews like a cow, and his wife is perfectly happy with his cute little cowness. So
yeah. Well, she actually has a home office now, which is nothing. The entire office is nothing but cows. I kid you not. Down to the rug on the floor. Yeah, she's nutty with cows, and no, we're not getting one. Not happening.
Erica Brown mentioned something I don't agree with is when women use being hungry for their rude or bitchy behavior. We have people starving all day, every day, and they're not out there mistreating someone. I don't like females who do that. Hey, fair point. So Erica's basically pointing out the fact that there are a lot of people out there who have not had a meal in a day or two, and they don't act off center the way that some people act off center when they go out. So 100% well said, Erica. Well said. All right. So General, you're back, my friend. All right. Red flag is the phrase. He's like a brother to me. Oh, he's talking about guy friends. Yeah. Yeah. Guy friends. So yeah. So anyways, and then the last one that I wrote down, folks, the last one that I saw as far as things that are unattractive, that men find unattractive in women, is taking endless selfies. The endless selfies. I mean, I can't even get a workout in sometimes without people putting up their damn tripod in the gym. You know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we would have kicked that tripod over. Now, I mean, I'm walking in the locker rooms and I got skinny little 15-year-olds that probably weigh 145 pounds soaking wet, flexing in the mirror every time I go into the locker room because they got their pump on and they've got 10-inch biceps now instead of 9-inch, and they think they're Arnold Schwarzenegger. So
what do you think of filters?
Yeah, filters. Filters are.
Oh my God,
they're a lie, bro. They're a lie. Filters are a lie. Come on, it's just kind of like makeup. Makeup's kind of a lie. I mean, for some women are just naturally beautiful. Some women, you're not naturally beautiful, but you are very good at makeup and you look beautiful with makeup on. It's a lie. I mean, let's be honest. It's a lie. And that's what's hard about being a man. When you're a man and you're ugly, man, you're just ugly. Okay. You're just ugly. You know, men don't wear wigs. We don't put on makeup. You know, we can enhance our bodies and dress well. That's about all we got. But if you're a dude and you're ugly, you're just freaking ugly.
I see all these damn pictures and they're like, I mean, in the Instagram and all, and it's just and I know these people in real life and they look nothing like that and they think they look good. And I'm like, they're showing off cleavage. I don't know what filter they're using. It's some weird, I don't know what the hell it is. And it's like, no one's believing it. No one's buying it. Why are you doing it? And it would be a turnoff. If anything, it's just, oh God, I'm biting my tongue because it's ridiculous.
Clover, we know you're not a Karen. We know you're not a Karen. We love you. Clover is loved on the Big Show podcast. We love you. But some of the things that guys were saying when it comes to the endless selfie taking and stuff like that is, one guy said that nonstop need for the online dopamine hit and the constant need for being liked is one of the worst qualities in a person, in his opinion. Fair point. I mean, some guys, you know, guys don't want to be in a relationship with a girl who wants to seek the non-sexual attention of every man out there. Yeah. So if she has an Instagram page or a Facebook page and she's always taking pictures of herself, and every time she posts a picture, there's 1,400 dudes pushing the heart button. She wants the attention of other men. That's a red flag, guys. One guy said basing your entire personality and life around your appearance is unattractive. It might be attractive in the short term, he said, but if you treat yourself like some sort of trophy, you're just objectifying yourself.
Yeah.
Especially when you think that enough. Especially when you think that it is enough and have nothing else. So basically, what the guy was saying is if all you have is your looks and you have nothing else, I mean, why would a guy want you? Because your looks are going to fade. All of our looks fade.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. Is that you're outside of your looks? If you have nothing else to offer after that 30 seconds, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? Yeah, look as attractive as you can. Quit seeking everyone else's adulation, whatever. But have inner beauty. Have some inner beauty. You know what's sexy to me? A woman that's smart, that knows how to handle herself. That's a good mother, that provides for the family, that puts the family first. Those outdated ideas. You want to know what's sexy? What gets my blood revving? That. Not 20 filters and, oh, look at me, and, oh, oops, I dropped something. Oh, look, my boob fell out. That is not attractive. Anyone over 20, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're dead on. And to close out the show, I will say this. Both men and women would ideally like a partner that they find physically attractive. But regardless of your gender, if you base your whole life around looking good and not developing and improving yourself as a person, you will be unattractive. So that's my advice to everybody. So those are the most unattractive things that women can do according to men. I don't know if some of them hit home. Some of the guys out there are probably, clapping on this because they know it's true. But women, if you didn't know, those are some of the things that guys find unattractive. Dwayne, do you have anything else before we cut this first evening Big Show podcast?
No, I'd say, thank everybody for joining at the new time. We're going to be here every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central with new ideas. Be sure to smash the button, throw in some ideas for things you'd like us to research and talk about. And talking to both the guys and the girls, the things that we talk about, this is stuff hopefully around the water cooler the next day you're going to be talking about, like, oh, hey, these guys in the show, we talked about this. Or if you have friends of yours that are doing these things, tell them to stop or start, whatever, the idea is. But yeah, we're trying to, educate, have a little bit of fun. But the whole thing is to get people to be the best version of themselves. If there's an activity or something that you yourself are doing, if you're selfie queen, stop doing it or figure out ways not to. And then, we're all trying to make it better. And these are, the stuff Jimmy's coming up with here is stuff to make everybody better. So that was kind of my spiel for the day.
And if you... Yeah, good point. And if you guys have any ideas for an upcoming show, or if some of you guys are professionals in your field and you want to be on the show, you guys can always email me at jimmysmith300@gmail.com. So again, if you guys have any ideas for a show, email me at jimmysmith300@gmail.com. On behalf of Dwayne Ward and myself, we do appreciate you guys logging in and watching this 21st episode of The Big Show. We'll see you guys next Sunday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. Until then, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you guys soon.